Leslie here for Winchester. Today we're going to talk about shooting plate racks. So what do you need to know to shoot a plate rack? Well, I happen to actually be co-holder of a national record in shooting plate racks. I'm okay at it, but it's pretty simple. And the plate rack or falling plates event consists of a rack of 6 plates. Can you see them? And you have to shoot them down in a par time. When we shoot plates for Bianchi Cup, it's called the falling plate event. There's 6 plates, and depending on your distance from the target, 10, 15, 20, or 25 yards, you have from 6 to 9 seconds to shoot them down, and you get 1 shot per target. A lot of what shooting a plate rack is about is focus. You need to set yourself up, be ready to go. You have just a small amount of time to shoot it. So you're going to get yourself in position, get a good stance, index or natural point of aim, and then mentally you need to be 110% on that single shot you're shooting in that moment. You can't think about the shot you just took, or if you missed a plate, or what you need to do the next shot. You need to think about that shot. So what I like to tell people for plate racks is 3 things. Your stance, focus on your sights, and have a mantra in your head, something you say. So for me, I say, sights squeeze, sights squeeze, sights squeeze. So that as I'm shooting that plate rack, I am keeping myself by using that little mantra, that little self-talk. So I'm keeping myself from thinking about what I just did or what I've got to do. I'm thinking about right there in this particular moment, it's that one single shot and I need to make it perfect. So I say sights squeeze, and when I see my sights where they need to be, I can squeeze the trigger, then I can go and do it again for the next 5 plates. All right? So step number 1 for shooting a plate rack. For me, I have my distances marked out. I know where I'm shooting from, and I'm just going to get myself and my stance and my grip, get myself set up so that I am indexed or have sort of a natural point of aim facing the center of the plate rack. Now, practice is the place where you can do things like dry fire, and you can test without ammo in your gun and see, am I set up where I want to be? Kind of just dry fire, and sometimes people will say snap in. Just get a little bit of trigger time without ammo in there to just settle yourself down and get some good sight pictures, some good practice transitioning and moving between those targets. So you could do that for a little bit, but I'm going to get right to shooting. So, like I said, focus on 3 things. My stance and grip, building myself so that when the timer goes, I'm ready to execute each single shot in that par time. Pretty successful, right? But I've been doing this for a few years, so it takes practice to shoot a plate rack. Some people need to consider how fast they're going to pull the trigger when they're shooting at steel or something that's smaller than a big paper target. For example, when I'm coaching someone when they're shooting, if they're a newer shooter and I see them making a lot of misses at a piece of steel, I'll generally tell them to aim at the top of the plate or the top of the piece of steel. Because more times than not, somebody who's newer is snatching at that trigger, and as they snatch, their sights dip. And if you see them missing below the target, odds are that's one of the things that can be happening. So if you're a new shooter, carefully aim, like we talked about in some of our other videos. When the target's smaller, you need to think not just about having a perfect sight picture and your sights aligned, but you need to think about where your sights are on the target. And make sure you check out Winchester's blogs. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can see more on handgun shooting this year.